You're such an asshole.
Greetings and salutations, assholeconsulting.com. Today your clients, or my clients, get a little special treat. You have two great minds. You have myself and the great one who's sitting over yonder, who will provide additional insight, but we are both geniuses, so it's going to be the same information. Anonymous. Hello, keep me anonymous. I'm 27 years old and a former... Oh, I remember skimming this one. We have to anonymize. They say don't mention my name. Which, okay, fine. Right. But then they do such spectacularly unique things. There's, it's like, oh yeah, I know him. He lives 3 blocks down the road. So he was in the Navy doing a very unique job. Not the SEALs, but a very unique job. Right. He wasn't just some yeoman, hanging out.
Not a file clerk.
No.
Okay.
Very unique. Yes, a real job.
Good,
yes.
Good.
I've traveled the world and I got a bachelor's and master's in petroleum engineering. He is certified in a trade on top of it in the state of Tejas.
Oh.
He owns, on the side now, he works for a big petroleum company, but on the side he runs a company. See, this I can't, because it would be, people would know who this is. He runs two non-sexy companies that have nothing to do with each other, but they're companies that everybody needs. Girls want to date the Silicon Valley billionaire because he's on Google or Facebook. This guy makes the world go around with his company, all right? So he's all over the place.
So I can't wait to see what he needs advice on.
Well,
he already sounds like
this is a guy
someone I'm jealous of.
Right. He's more successful than us at half our age.
Yes.
I make great money, but still spend the amount I made in the military on my house outright. All cars are paid off, and a rotating credit for my business that I pay off at the end of each month. I drink alone every night, and he works out an hour in the morning and lifts weight every other day and an hour at night. He learned how to Texas swing dance, side East Coast, I think. Became a competitive level ballroom dancer. I read 1 book a week. I have an IQ of 148. Why am I always alone at night? I keep asking myself why the only person that wants to be my friend is my dog. I do go out and meet people, but do not play video games, only watch TV 3 hours per week. I have slept with over 63 girls.
Wow.
I don't have an issue with that. Do not care about the price. Let me know. I would like a video response. And I would love to charge him more when I don't care about the price. Well...
Well,
unfortunately, I felt bad, and I'm like, I'll just charge you the regular price because he's not a douche. All right, why can't he find a friend? Why is he alone? See if you got the same idea that I do.
I mean, have you read Curse of the High IQ by Aaron Clary?
I told him to do that, and I tried. Here's how nice I was.
You sent him a free copy?
No, fuck no. What am I, a fucking Democrat?
Nice. I don't know.
I'm not stupid nice. I said... Look, it'd probably be cheaper if you just go by and read Curse of the High IQ. It might take more time, but since he reads well, he's like, well, okay, that, and he says, but he still wanted my advice.
Sure.
So, you were going to say about the Curse of the High IQ?
I mean, it's, I don't know, probably just being unable to relate to the normies.
Right.
The commoners, as I refer to them.
Okay, here's the deal. And this I'll go over way a lot in the Curse of the High IQ, but being in petroleum engineering, you obviously had to take statistics. You remember the Bell distribution curve.
Right.
148, that is more than 3 standard deviations to the right of the mean. He is 3 now I'd have to pull up the Z tables or the Z scores again, but he is in the top 1/2 of 1%, if I remember correctly, of intelligent people. And not to simplify your problems into that, but that's the lion's share of your problems, is you are so statistically skewed and far removed from normie world that you just aren't going to relate. A better way to put it would be this: let's say you and I were average intelligence people, which we're not, but let's all assume, everyone tuning in right now, we were an IQ of 100. We were average. We drink our light beers. We watch football.
Dude, go Broncos!
Dude, bro!
Broncos!
I'm majoring in business. I got a 2.7. Oh, like my dad's gonna get me a job over at Cargill. So we're very average. Mm-hmm. We actually watched the Oscars last night, which I did not know was on.
Oh, did that happen?
That happened. I didn't know.
Is that still a thing?
Well, I pulled it up on the internet. I didn't pull it up. I go on the internet. Oh, this person won the other person won the Oscars. I'm like, well, fucking suck my dick. I don't care. You are an idiot that watched the Oscars last night.
Yes.
let's say somebody is 3 standard deviations, 48 points, dumber than you. Now, that is an IQ of 52. Hang on, what is an IQ of 50?
I think I've worked with some of those people, actually.
They're invalids. I'm not joking. 80 is officially starting to become the realm of officially mentally retarded. 50, that's why I want to look. Let's look up IQ.
That might be where you're
shitting your pants. Yeah, okay. I'm getting... What does it mean? What does the IQ of 50 mean in a real sense? Oh, this is just a Quora. I don't like Quora. Hang on. Just bear with me. IQ ranges of real life functioning. Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Mild. 50 is mild, borderline moderate. No, I'm sorry. Oh, you are retarded. Okay, I'm sorry. 70 to 89, you are below average. 70 to 79 is borderline retarded. You are retarded if you are 50. You are mildly retarded at 50, moderate 49. So you are officially retarded. So you're talking Down syndrome. Let's go through here. 50 to 69, educatable, can learn to care for oneself, employable in routine jobs but require supervision. Might live alone but do best in supervised setting. Immature but with adequate social adjustment. Usually no obvious physical abnormalities. That's 59. You go to 49, can learn simple life skills and employment tasks with special education, may be employed in special settings and achieve some independence. Often socially immature, self-awareness, having inner image of self, realizing that one is a person separate from the others around one. May exist from here on, but is not guaranteed to exist as it depends on more than intelligence alone. The most intelligent non-human animals, such as some crows, chimpanzees, bonobos, parrots, and dolphins, are in this range. You are as smart as bonobos and chimpanzees are dumb to the average human being. If that puts it in perspective. You are so highly intelligent, I'm not kissing your ass, that it would be like an average person like me and the Great One drinking our light beers, horking down wings, cheering on the Broncos, having a bonobo sit next to us, trying to talk to that, talking to probably someone with Down syndrome that needs supervision. And that, I'd say, is explained about 80% of it. The remaining 20% is you can have a super high IQ individual, but they just do jack all and sit at home and play video games. You don't. You have so many accomplishments that you're now a type A, and I don't believe in that Myers-Briggs shit. I'm an ENTJ, I'm an ITN, I'm like, okay, fine. But you are also a type A personality.
Yeah.
Right, so you do all this shit, where most people, they just want to stay at home, jerk off the porn, go catch the movie, Oh, did you watch Game of Thrones? No, I fucking didn't. And so here's the thing, you're a statistical freak. And that's why you're alone. Now, what's the solution, Great One? Curious about this answer.
I wish I had I'm not really sure.
That is the correct answer. There is no answer.
I wish I knew, yeah.
Right. And you'll read this in the book, Curse the High IQ. This is the problem the Great One, I'm not every other. Great One.
Yeah.
How do I see you? At what intervals I do? How often do I see you, and how is it that I come to arrive to see you?
About twice a year.
Twice a year.
And you roll through town traveling somewhere else.
Right.
You're doing Cappy Appleseed.
I'm doing Cappy Appleseed,
traveling
right.
around.
And how many miles do I have to travel to see you?
I'm not really sure. 1,000?
600?
600?
Whatever it is.
Well, but you're going round...
Well, I'm going around.
Thousands.
I have to drive across the Plain States to get an intellectual conversation. Now, then, thankfully, there's Denver Ben and Chaplain Dave down in Denver.
Right on.
Then I got to drive another 300 miles to Grand Junction. Then it's another 700 miles to Vegas to see the great Matt Poldoni. Then maybe I cut through Phoenix to see the talented Mr. Lee. Then Dallas to see Silvio Canto. Used to be Cincinnati to see Glorious Carl. Point is I'm making, look at the United States. One person every 500 miles can I have a conversation with. and I gotta drive my fucking ass out there to go have that conversation. You're a full, well, maybe not a full, you're 2/3 of standard deviation beyond me. And so you're going to get along with even fewer people, and then you throw in your type A personality and super achievement, and God almighty, you're young. You're 27. So if you're looking for romance or dating, you are not going to find girls at that age. I mean, you have to go to MIT, you have to go to Caltech, you have to find some freakishly high IQ girl to date. And for social life, you're going to have find freakishly high IQ guys. And what will happen? What happens after about like 130 IQ? What happens to the social graces of people beyond that?
I think to some extent they don't exist.
It starts to deteriorate really. Right. Did I tell you about the D&D game I went to in Las Vegas?
No.
I was like, I wanted to find some people.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Really?
So I'm thinking, where else are my peeps going to be than a Dungeons and Dragons game? So
yes.
I went to meet up. I found a Dungeons and Dragons game. All spurgs, all autisms, all with their social anxiety disorders.
God.
And I had to tell one guy to shut up because he kept talking about he wasn't the dungeon master. He was he was just like Mr. Rules, like
the rule lawyer.
Yeah, rule, yeah,
oh, the
yeah.
rule
Just
lawyer.
brings the game to a screeching halt. And he started off, and I said, "Stop talking." And then I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But because they were all spurgs, they were retarded on the other side. This guy seems to be anchored in reality because you can't be that retarded and run these companies, work as a petroleum engineer.
He sounds like an achiever. And I think that's part of his problem too, is just when you're achieving that much.
Oh, you're on another skewed scale.
Right. I mean, even if he didn't have that high IQ, I mean, when you are achieving that much, right? How do you relate to the Oscars in football? Because this guy's obviously doing things. Mm-hmm. He's making a mark in the world. He's creating shit.
And here's another thing: most people are stuck in the first 3 levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You're stuck there, or you're not. That's where 95% with their debts and
living payday to
payday. Oh, I got my student loans. I gotta get this car and chicken pretty. Again, your IQ Dubro 103 business majors with the least used Beamer that they can't afford because you're for chicks, dude. Those are normie world. Once you financially are, you don't have to be independently wealthy, but if you're a minimalist and you don't need the money, you're on a completely different plane. On another separate world where it's like, hey, let's start a company, do this, do that. And no wonder you're trying to fill your time. You can't find people to hang out with their intellect are going to stimulate you. You can't find equals. Fucking Christ, when I was 27, I was living in a basement just trying to get by. And this guy's got it all. So you're a very good statistical freak, but good does not matter. You are so far removed from the rest of society in terms of intellect, accomplishment, probably brain level activity, like he's not impatient. I need constant stimulation.
Right. You don't like wasting time.
No. What did I do first thing this morning?
Brought me coffee.
No, even before that.
Brushed your teeth.
Showered shit, shaved, got coffee, did work. Came back, here's your coffee. Where the fuck is the microwave? You don't have one?
Because I'm a minimalist.
Right.
Well, I got out of bed this morning, brushed my teeth, turned on the computer, and started posting the podcast.
Right. So, the only solution I've found, and thankfully this is the benefit, you have somewhat of a solution. You have the internet, so you can find like-minded people. The internet is a big filter. You could find very smart people on the internet. But the problem that you and I somewhat similarly have, although you have this problem, it's a good problem to have at half the age I am.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor you got all this money. The money is your freedom. And once you start finding friends on the internet, dude, it is worth every bit of money to fly out and visit them. Not to give you a problem, but I'll give you an example. I was hanging out in Vegas. My roommate had left, so he was gone working over in Florida. Baldoni's working because he's gainfully employed. Imagine that. Intelligent people with skills are in demand. And there was nobody. I'm in Vegas and lonely. I'm trying to go to Dungeons and Dragons games to meet people. And they're spurgs, they're odds. Retards on the high side of IQ. And I was, how many hours of podcast was I going through a day? Tell me.
Oh, you said something like 13 or
14
or something.
Wake
atrocious.
up, put this on, go run, play golf, work out, whatever, go to sleep, listen to a podcast. And I was miserable. I'm like, I got to get up, I got to go. And I start feeling immediately better when I visited my buddy over in Grand Junction. Like, and I had to drive 8 hours to get there. I was coming that way anyway. You need to go find friends on the internet, wherever you can. And then there's a good statistical chance they are so intelligent that they are impaired in other capacities, that they ain't sitting on companies like you are and an income like you are. Fly out, visit them, hang out with them. And I'd even do that weekly. Every weekend you go fly and visit somebody else. And might even meet a girl of the female persuasion, but at your IQ, women have a much flatter, well, not much, but a significantly flatter bell distribution. No, men do. We have a flatter. Women have a much tighter bell distribution. So when you get to the extremes, whether you're retarded or whether you're super genius, there are increasingly more men as there are women. So this is why you have more homeless men than women, not as many bag ladies. But when you get to the IQ of certainly 3 standard deviations, I think there's more than 3, 4, or 5 as many men as there are women, especially at 3 standard deviations to the right of the mean. So I would almost not even bother trying to find girls. Keep banging away by all means. Absolutely. Wrap it up, because STDs would not be a good thing to have in the meantime. But I would not even bother worrying about women. I'd focus on friends. And you know what? Maybe you meet this really cool chick that's into petroleum engineering, and you meet on a oil rig off of Louisiana's coast. And
very romantic.
Right, very romantic. But to acknowledge the problem, I think, is the solution. And realize that there is no solution except for these extreme measures of flying and traveling around. And then to just, it's almost like having a disease you have to work with. Like, oh, do you have...
True.
What's one of those old fart diseases, like, you see, like, the drug commercials, like, during daytime TV?
Oh, God.
Do you have flat bladder? Oh, 1 in 8 baby boomers have flat bladder.
That's right.
Get Zifromorphin.
Control of your bladder.
And they're running around on beaches with sheets, and then the old woman looks at her husband and kisses him, and even though he has flat bladder,
right?
People can live a functional life with
flat bladder.
And then all the problems. Flat bladder could cause death, shrinkage of penis, tight anus, drooling nose, blowing up of kidneys. Consult your doctor. And then anything with your liver. If you've had one thing go wrong with you, you can't have this. You can't have this thing.
Right.
So that's it. So I wish there was a better solution. Do read Curse of the High IQ. That's going to help a lot. And then just spend your money. Because he can't sit there. He cannot sit there and go into dark places. No, especially that drinking. I mean, look, I'm guilty as sin. Big drinker, alcoholic right here. You got to kick that. You can't drink. Because then that does fuck up your kidneys and your livers and your pancreas.
Right.
And it doesn't solve the problem. It ameliorates it.
Right. It just leads to more problems.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, but it can.
It can. No, I've gotten in. Okay, I've gotten in fights and I've pissed off a lot of women in drunken approaches. But thankfully, I haven't had any health complications. But yeah, knock that stuff off.
Even just least case, it results in you wasting your time.
Yes.
When you wake up the next day, I spent 3 hours yesterday getting drunk. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, but that's 3 hours. You could have been doing something more productive.
But he doesn't have that problem. See, that was the problem. Like, I'm like, good. I had 3 hours where I didn't worry about anything. Like, I was actually relaxed. But then what pisses me off is the next day I can't do jack all because you're hungover.
Right.
So, but it doesn't sound like he's getting hungover. Anyway. All right, that's it. That's the solution. You guys got questions. Captain's got answers at assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.